What is your American dream?
My American dream is that everybody be optimistic. I think things are going to work out well. If we could all just make the world better by 0.00001, I think you're doing a good job.
My American dream is to enjoy this inclusiveness and freedom of America and have fun while it lasts.
My American dream come true when I visited for a short study trip. I'm really impressed by the values and culture of the United States.
My American dream is for America to get its act together so that the spot where we're standing is not underwater in 10, 15 years.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Already coming to the end of January 2022.
Wow. It's wild.
I am live. My name is Brad. We call this Brad Show Live. We call the man next to me, this handsome man next to me, Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Oh, wait. I'm not going to do my move.
What move are you going to do?
I was doing this.
Oh, he has a new move now. Another new move for 2022. That's a different move.
That's a different move.
That was a completely different
the first one,
yeah, that one looked more like a Will Smith move or something, right? Like a
jiggy
like
with
a little, yeah, right? Like a little Will Smith, right?
Yeah, getting jiggy
Yeah.
with it. Nah.
All right. So, would you believe? Doesn't it feel? You squad, tell me. Yo-Yo, you tell me too. I just looked down. It's January 27th, 2022. We're already almost the end of the first month of January. We're coming into February 2022.
Wow.
I don't even feel like the year started already. It just feels like it just... Did this month go by really fast, or is it my imagination?
No, it's so funny that you said that because I literally was just telling everybody. Usually January feels like a whole year. Like January is super, super long.
Right.
But this year it went by super fast.
Like I can't believe we're already February 22.
Wild.
Does it feel like
because we're so used to January being so long.
I'm also not used to 2022 yet. Like
I'm not either. I don't think I've said 2022 like.
I haven't even gotten used to saying 2022, and we're already in February. That's
Time
crazy.
is going by too fast.
Crazy. You know what that has to tell you? Honestly, you got to live life to the fullest.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You really. You know when people joke and they say, "Oh, Yo-Yo, you're living the best life." You know what? Yeah, I'm trying my best, right?
You have to.
I'm trying. When people tell that to me, I go, "Yeah, I'm trying my best."
Yeah, and
trying my best to live my best life.
I love that you do that. I love that you do that.
And I'm going to tell that to everybody too. I mean, and I just realized it again.
Yeah.
Just that no matter what your situation is, live life to the best.
Yeah.
Because we're already at the end of January 2022. It's like, where did January go?
Man, wow.
Right?
Yeah. For sure.
Did I just depress you or make you?
You motivated me.
You motivated you, yeah, because you're like, oh wow, look, you can't go depressed.
No, because what you're saying is so true.
Yeah.
You know, and when I was saying, oh wow, because I'm actually thinking about myself, and you know, there are certain things that I can go out and do, you know, to live life to the fullest. But then sometimes I'm a little reserved, you know, with some of my spontaneity. So now I'm just like, well, why don't we just be spontaneous and just enjoy life? Like we should.
You should, because you can't get the days back.
You can't.
You can't get the weeks back. You can't get the months back. We already went through January 2022 already.
Yeah.
And it just feels like yesterday.
It does.
I was just speaking to somebody on the phone right before the show, before I walked into the studio. And person, I don't want to say man or woman, person was texting me very, very angry. Not about anything I did, but about what somebody we both know did. So I called this human being up on the phone, and I say, I'm just seeing your messages now because the person texted me earlier, but I'm busy, I'm doing my consultation, I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
I said, what are you getting yourself so upset about? It is ultimately so meaningless to life.
Yeah.
And we had a whole thing, and I can't get into too specifics.
Yeah.
But that got me thinking, I'm like, why does somebody get so upset over something that's trivial?
Yeah.
Trivial, ruined this person's whole day.
And your blood pressure goes up.
Exactly.
Don't want that.
So in the end, live life to the fullest.
Yes.
When somebody says to you, living the best life, you know, because everyone always likes to, you know, it's almost like a backhanded compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am trying to live the best life.
Yeah, when they say it, some people, when they say it like that, it's almost like they hating a little bit.
It's a backhanded, it's a little passive aggressive.
Yeah, it's
A
hating.
little passive aggressive sometimes.
Don't hate on people that are living their best life.
So you know what I do? I just take it as a compliment, even though I know it's a little.
Because they want to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I say, yeah, I am living my best life because
Yes.
I'm never getting this day back. All right, let's go and say hi to the squad. Pepe Samuel, squad up, how are you? Earth Angel Keisha, squad up, Uncle Brad and Yo-Yo. Darsh Singh, how are you? Abdel Ghaffar Hikmat. Get me in call, please. Well, Abdul Ghaffar Hikmat. Call right now, 1-800-529-5465. You will speak to me. We do have open lines at the moment. It's for you to call me, not for me to call you.
I
You can
did
do it
see
now.
give me a call.
Right, Violet Blackwood, squad up. He wants me to stop and call him. Fab Cake Affair, squad up. In Bradshaw Live, let me explain something. The phone only works one way. You call me, I don't call you.
Right.
All right, Willie L. Williams, squad up. How are you? Overcomer. See, Overcomer, I would think, is living her best life.
Yes.
She's overcoming every day. She's not worried about, you know, the little things in life, and she perseveres and she lives her best life. That's what I get from her name.
Yes. I like that.
Right?
Yes.
It's Apple Pie, squad up. Again, it's Apple Pie. Living her best life
Yes.
too, right? Eating apple pie all day. That's what she likes. Jill Delph, squad up. Nina God Pickney, how are you? Marcus Singh, squad up. Dion Reed, how are you? Abdul Ghaffar Hikmat, blowing up Facebook.
I see.
Just call, Abdul. I don't even see you online yet.
Call Abdul.
Pick up the phone. Call me. Don't be afraid. Call moi. It's call moi.
Call moi.
That's how what's his name did it?
Who?
Frank Sinatra.
Oh.
What's his name? Like anybody would know. Jessica Levy, Joel Reed, how are you? Rog J. Roberts is watching. Joan Ambitious Powell, squad up. Babika Diarine saying hello, Brad. Linda Shaw. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Earth Angel. I wish I could sing.
Would you be mine?
Let me ask you a question, Yo-Yo. I will tell you right now. The talent I don't have that I wish I did have is singing.
That would be mine as well.
Is that your talent?
Absolutely,
I wish.
because you don't have to like jump up and dance and do all that. I wouldn't want the dancing talent. I wouldn't want to be flipper, like someone who does gymnastics. I wish I could sing.
I just want to come on stage like Whitney Houston, stand in front of the microphone and belt it out, and everybody just watches.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love it.
Right?
But you know what? It was meant for us not to be able to sing because I think we would abuse the hell out of it.
Well, I mean, because I used to watch, all the singing shows on television. I'm like, damn, I always wanted to do that.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't get past. I wouldn't get past the first round. They'd put me on as like the mockery one.
Or
I'd be mocked.
Unless there's a new show where you have to lip sync and the judges, the celebrity judges, have to guess if you're really singing or lip syncing, and then after
I can't even do that. I don't even have a talent.
Oh, you can't do that? Oh, that I could do.
I can't even do that. Daryl Winnebaugh, squad up. What we can do, I can go on the show and answer some immigration questions for them, and they can tell me whether I'm in live or Memorex. But
you could go on America's Got Talent and do that.
This man is going to be blindfolded. He's going to sit on stage. He will not know the immigration questions. He's going to answer 9 immigration questions in 50 seconds. Is that amazing, Howie?
There you go.
Is that amazing?
It's
not Howie. It's
is it Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon. Right?
Okay.
I'm thinking it's Howie Mandel. But I think he's on it too. I think he's maybe a judge. Christy O'Dell. I'm getting too excited for today.
You are.
I am.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
TK Palone. I'm overexcited.
You can never be overexcited.
You know when I'm overexcited? When I start screaming.
Because now you notice that you went down about 5 notches.
I just realized I was overexcited. Idea for Nature, how are you? Trish West, Happy New Year. So everyone's like, Why is Uncle Brad screaming? Because I'm excited. It's who I am.
It's all good.
Right, yo, take it away.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I'm excited too. And I want you guys to get excited with us. And please share to every and anybody, especially you newcomers come in. It's super easy. Share it to your friends on pages. You can text it to them. Just call them. Let them know that they can ask their questions. I see Idea for Nature. I think you're pretty new because you're asking if you can ask your questions in the comments. Absolutely. We have a section where we do calls, and we do another section where you actually have your social media check-in, and we're going to go into the comments and ask all your questions. So tell your friends and your family, all right? Because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad. We're going to talk headlines, including a criminal investigation launched by the Department of Homeland Security after a suspected human smuggling boat carrying 40 people to Florida capsized Saturday evening.
That's really sad. A lot of people died. A lot of people are dead.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Very sad.
Yeah. And also today is Thursday, so that means that we're going to scan the globe for some of the wackiest headlines, including some that are out of this world, like the Black Diamond we'll be talking about. A black diamond.
I know a lot of people into that.
Whoa.
Some people love diamonds.
Yeah.
Most people do.
Yeah.
So stay tuned on that one.
Black diamond.
What is a black diamond? We're going to find out.
We are, because I've never even heard of
We're
a
going to
black
find
diamond.
out.
Yeah.
And of course, you can call Spar and Bernstein. The telephone number is scrolling at the bottom for the entire show. Hickbach, is that his name? Hickbod. Call us now with your immigration question. We only have 4 empty lines. After that, we're full for the show. 1-800-529-5465. International, it's +1 212-227-8933. And later in the show, we're going to hear the final part of Yonathan's discussion with business and life coach and self-proclaimed digital nomad, Saloua Ibaline. Saloua
You almost
Ibaline.
got it.
Saloua Ibaline. About her work and her new book. I just got yelled at by Jilly in my ear. I'm sorry. Saloua Ibaline. It was a really great story.
Yeah, very great.
Yes. And she wrote a book, The Stories of Immigrant Women Entrepreneurs in the United States of America.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to schmooze?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Where's my schmooze? Over here.
Oh, need that.
So January 27th, 1945, that was the day that the Auschwitz concentration camp was liberated by was liberated from the German Nazis. It is today that we remember Holocaust. It's Holocaust Remembrance Day. On this day, the United Nations urges every member state to honor the victims of the Holocaust and the victims of Nazism, to develop educational programs to help prevent future genocides. 6 million European Jews, millions of other people were killed by the Nazis and their collaborators during the Holocaust. Some 1.5 million of them were children. This year's remembrance theme is Memory, Dignity, and Justice, to remember the victims, safeguard the historical record, challenge the distortion of history often expressed in contemporary anti-Semitism. Around the world, Holocaust survivors and politicians warned about the resurgence of anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial that has gained traction and exacerbated hatred online, especially during the coronavirus. President Biden, Vice President Harris met with Holocaust survivors, and they issued a statement. And there's not many Holocaust survivors left.
I know.
Right.
I grew up knowing of a lot of.
Whoever is left as a Holocaust survivor was a child. Who survived.
Yeah.
And what President Biden and Vice President Harris said today in a statement: today and every day we have a moral obligation to honor the victims, learn from the survivors, pay tribute to their rescuers, and carry forth the lessons of last century's most heinous crime. From the streets of Charlottesville, Virginia, to a synagogue in Colleyville, Texas, which was just last week, we are continually and painfully reminded that hate doesn't go away, it just hides.
Yeah.
The president also stressed the need for the international community to push back against attempts to ignore, deny, distort, revise history about the Holocaust. He referenced the United Nations resolution adopted last week that condemned Holocaust denial. Now, due to the pandemic, many international Holocaust Remembrance Day events were being held online this year. A small ceremony, however, did take place at the site of the former Auschwitz death camp. European Parliament lawmakers listened to a 100-year-old Holocaust survivor, Margot Friedlander. You see it? I mean, she's 100 now. She must have been a child.
Yeah.
She was arrested in 1944 and brought to what is now the Czech Republic. A year before, her mother, her brother, her entire family were deported to Auschwitz, where they were all killed. So she is the lone surviving member of the family. She said, "We must be vigilant and not look the other way as we did then. Hatred, racism, and anti-Semitism must not be the last word in history." Now, Charles Michael, the head of the EU Council, said with each passing year, the Shoah, which is Hebrew for the catastrophe, and it particularly refers, when anyone says Shoah, at least in Hebrew, they're referencing the Holocaust. They're not referencing any other catastrophe. The Shoah inches towards becoming a historical event because there's nobody who's going to be alive who actually witnessed it. More and more distant, more and more abstract, especially in the eyes of the younger generations. This is why the more the years go by, the more important commemorations become. Now, to tackle the Holocaust, the United Nations, UNESCO, and the World Jewish Congress launched a partnership today with TikTok. According to statistics, 1 in 5 TikTok videos either deny or distort what happened in the Holocaust.
What?
17% of content related to Holocaust on TikTok either denies that it ever happened or distorts what actually happened.
And who the hell are these people that are
and
doing
what
it?
the UNESCO and the World Jewish Congress are saying is that all online platforms must take responsibility for the spread of hate speech by promoting reliable sources of information. In Italy, members of the Jewish community and lawmakers gathered in Rome's ghetto to lay a wreath on the site where more than 1,000 people were rounded up and deported. There's an actual Jewish ghetto in all the cities of Europe because the Jews were just concentrated in there. And then once they were all concentrated in there, the Nazis just came in and took them all.
Sheesh.
So where they were concentrated, 1,000 people were rounded up and deported on October 16th, 1943, all died. In Albania, the only country that can, in Europe, of all of the countries, whether Western or Eastern Europe, the only country that can say that they were righteous for Jews during the Holocaust, Albanians saved all the Jews. You know who also did, by the way? Morocco.
Really?
Yes, Morocco saved all their Jews as well. When the Nazis came to Morocco, the king of Morocco is very famous. The general of the Nazis came to Morocco and he told the king, "You have to give us all your Jews. We're taking them away." And the king said, "There's no Jews here, just Moroccans."
Wow.
You know, which goes back to you know what we were talking about the other day. So the king stood up.
Yeah.
You know. So any event, Albania is, according to Foreign Minister Olta Xhaku, is earning a place amongst the righteous amongst nations. During World War II, Albania was the only country where no Jews were killed or handed over to the Nazis in Europe, and their numbers increased from before the war to after the war. The Jewish population increased. Albanians protected Jewish residents, helped Jews who fled from Germany, Austria, and other countries by either smuggling them abroad or hiding them. Now, Yad Vashem, which is the Holocaust memorial in Jerusalem, and there's lots of Holocaust memorials all over the world, but this one's in Jerusalem, and the Conference on Jewish Material Claims Against Germany teamed up to highlight the stories of righteous rescuers. You know what a righteous rescuer is?
What?
That's a non-Jewish person who went out of their way to save a Jewish person during the war.
Oh, wow.
Right. So the most famous one, because they made a movie of him, is Oskar Schindler from Schindler's List.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So he was a German. He wasn't Jewish, and he went out of his way and saved thousands of Jews from execution. Now, over the 60 years, Yad Vashem has recognized about 28,000 people from 50 different countries as righteous rescuers, people who risked their life to save somebody else's life, and they were not Jewish.
Right.
Non-Jews who risked their life to save a Jewish
That's
life.
big.
They still receive hundreds of applications each year to honor others. They're all mostly dead posthumously.
Yeah.
Of all the rescuers still alive today, most helped their parents as children or teenagers. So of the people who are righteous rescuers were children of parents who were righteous rescuers.
Yeah.
Because it was full families that would hide Jews in their homes. The organization believes about 200 of them are still alive, and they're all in Europe. So that is what's going on with Holocaust Remembrance Day today. And as we remember Holocaust Remembrance Day, unfortunately, a boat bringing immigrants to the United States, a smuggling boat, people trying to survive themselves, capsized off the coast of Florida. 40 migrants headed out to sea Saturday night from Bimini in the Bahamas, but their 25-foot boat capsized. It was bad weather. The boats were going, whether the weather is good or not. They're overcrowded. 5 bodies have been recovered, 35 bodies still missing. Unfortunately, the Coast Guard has called off the rescue. Presumably by now, if they have not been rescued, they've drowned.
Jeez.
Most of the people who drowned on that boat were either from Cuba or Haiti.
Wow.
But some could have also been from Ecuador, Colombia, and some other South American countries as well. The identities of everybody who died have not been identified, but I can just tell you that historically people who are coming from Bahamas, in the past it was all different countries. It used to be Caribbean, DR. At this moment, it's mostly Haitians trying to escape, Cubans trying to escape, and sometimes South Americans and Central Americans.
Oh, man.
But unfortunately, they're all dead. All dead.
Oh.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. And I don't know if you saw Sarah Palin's in New York City.
Really?
Yes.
Did you call her?
I did not call her.
We just spoke about her,
We just spoke about her. Yeah, she is in New York City. She is in New York City because she is suing the New York Times for libel and slander. And what she is saying is that if you remember in 2011, when Congressman Gabby Giffords was shot, the Arizona congressman.
Yes.
Do you recall that incident?
Yeah, it was in Arizona, right?
Yes, in Arizona.
I remember.
She was a congresswoman. She was shot by a crazed gunman at a political rally.
Yes, I remember.
She is disabled. She had to retire from Congress. Her husband is actually a U.S. senator now.
Oh.
And is a former astronaut, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but she had to retire because she was injured. She couldn't do her duties anymore. And the New York Times wrote a scathing editorial that part of the gun culture, which caused this crazed man to go shoot Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, was a result of Sarah Palin's rhetoric about people should be able to carry guns. She feels that the New York Times, in the editorial, committed malice by clear and convincing evidence that they knew what they were saying was untrue. Now, 5 hours after the New York Times reported this, they corrected whatever errors were in that editorial, but it was out into the world on the internet for 5 hours. Palin is only seeking damages of $420,000. She refuses to settle. Why? Because she wants to make this case an example, bring it all the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States of America, and overturn the current laws that protect newspapers from making errors, as long as you can prove, as long as a newspaper can prove they didn't intentionally do it with the intent to hurt somebody, and they correct it, then they can't be held for libel. Which is different than in the UK, where if you just negligently said something wrong, you're you're liable. So Sarah Palin wants the laws changed to something closer to what's in the UK, where we just have a regular negligence standard for libel.
Because I'm like, 421,000, that's nothing compared to like what she can get.
The defense for that of changing the law, obviously, is that we want a free press. And we don't want the press to feel that they won't be able to say and print what they want. What do you think? Do you think, I mean, because in this day and age, Yonathan, in this day and age, we complain a lot about the press, not just me and you, but everybody.
Yeah.
That it's so much fake news. They're just saying whatever they want.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is this law.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because they can get away, but now if you go back to just proving negligence, does that make the press no longer free to say what you want? Because opinion now, there's a big difference between opinion and fact.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
I just know that press definitely have they can make damages to people's career. Like even Cardi B just won like a $3 million settlement,
right?
Because of some media girl, Tasha K,
right?
Who was putting out lies on her. So she's making an example.
But you were able to show. She was able to show that it was done with intent to harm, and they knew it wasn't true.
Right.
That's what you need.
Right.
That's what you need right now. Actual malice and intent to harm.
Would she have that with New York Times?
I don't know. I think the fact that they corrected themselves 5 hours later would indicate that they didn't really intend to hurt her.
But if they corrected
if they didn't correct it, then that would,
it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I think she already knows she's going to lose. But she wants to be the example that brings us all the way to the Supreme Court. That's what I think. And President Biden talking about Supreme Court today. He met with Justice Stephen Breyer, and President Biden did confirm to the press that the next Supreme Court justice will be a black woman.
Nice.
All right. So we didn't know if that was going to be the case, but
now we know.
Now we know. And today was the deadline for unvaccinated healthcare workers in roughly half the United States to get a first dose of COVID vaccine or lose their jobs. The Biden administration's mandate, which is to take effect in stages, will affect about 10 million healthcare workers in 76,000 hospitals. Follows the Supreme Court decision on January 13th that blocked a vaccine or testing mandate from a lower court. The vaccine requirements going into effect in states that did not challenge the mandate in court. Those include California, Hawaii, Minnesota, New York. Healthcare workers in most of the other remaining states where a lower court had blocked the mandate have until February 14th. Texas has until February 22nd. Oh. So if you're a healthcare worker in the blue Democratic states, you got to get jabbed today. If you're a healthcare worker in all the other states, you got to be jabbed by February 14th. If you're a healthcare worker by February 22nd in Texas, otherwise you will not have a job.
It's wild. I mean, no judgment though, but it's just wild to me when knowing that there are people who are healthcare workers that don't want to get the vaccine. Like that, I'm like, oof. I want to know the thought process.
There are doctors out there that are saying that vaccines don't work. I don't know how a doctor can go through medical school. I don't understand how a doctor can go through medical school and after medical school say vaccines don't work.
Yeah.
That is a self-serving doctor. That can't possibly be a doctor who really wants to help people. And you know who Neil Young is, right?
Neil Young. You can sing some of his songs. He's an old-time rocker. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So he's one of the most downloaded artists on all of Spotify. He has written a letter to Spotify that he no longer wants to be on Spotify.
Whoa.
Take all his music off of Spotify. And that's because Spotify is giving a platform to Joe Rogan, who has been peddling false information about COVID. Wow. And Neil Young says, I don't want to be part of any platform that is giving out false information about COVID.
I respect that.
Now, Spotify says they don't control what their people on their platforms are saying. Spotify gave Joe Rogan $100 million to continue his podcast on Spotify.
Wow.
But Joe Rogan has had plenty of different podcasts questioning whether vaccines work, and even saying on one, he had a doctor, Robert Malone, talking about doctors, who claims to be an infectious disease expert, who promoted several falsehoods about the COVID-19 vaccines. So how do doctors do that? And of course, in COVID scandals around the world, there's a lot of COVID scandals around the world right now, Yo-Yo.
What are the scandals?
Let me tell you, Sarah Palin, going back to Sarah Palin here in New York for her trial against the New York Times, she says she has never been vaccinated. She doesn't believe in the vaccination. She was caught eating dinner the other night in Elio's restaurant, which is one of the most well-known Italian restaurants on the Upper East Side, indoors, breaking or violating the indoor mandate. For people can't go into a restaurant unless they're vaccinated.
Or unless you're a public figure, is that what it is?
I don't know. Now let me add some more craziness, scandal to this. The news reports are that when she was eating in Elio's indoor restaurant on East 81st Street, she had been tested as positive with COVID 2 days earlier. And why the press knows this is because her trial with the New York Times was postponed a week because she tested positive. So here is a woman who is unvaccinated, who tested positive, eating dinner indoors in New York City.
Sick. That's wild.
Used to be a vice presidential candidate.
That is wild.
Is that wild?
Yeah.
And of course, in London, police are investigating Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister. See this? While everybody was under lockdown in London, he was throwing parties with hundreds of people to live it up during lockdown in London. Metropolitan Police Commissioner he's going to be out of a job soon, Boris Johnson.
I hope those parties were worth it.
Yeah, it better have been a hell of a party. Metropolitan Police Commissioner Cressida Dick told the London Assembly's Police and Crime Committee on Tuesday that officers were looking into potential offences after being given information by the team investigating a number of alleged parties in the last 2 years in relation to potential breaches of COVID-19 regulations. Johnson was forced to apologize to the Queen after it was emerged that one of the parties was held in Downing Street, which is like the White House of Great Britain, the night before the funeral of Prince Philip.
Wow.
It was noted at the time that because of COVID-19 restrictions, the Queen was forced to mourn her husband at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, sitting alone.
Wow.
And the Prime Minister is throwing a big party on Downing Street.
That's horrible.
So he may be out of a job.
Bye.
Why?
I said bye.
Oh, I thought you said bye. I'm like, why?
No.
Let me tell you the story again.
No.
And in New Zealand, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, she canceled her wedding because of COVID. So she's asking her entire country to lock down. Now that's the craziness on the other side, because New Zealand's only had 1 or 2 cases of COVID.
Listen, they're not playing over there.
They've only had 1 or 2 cases of COVID, and they keep locking themselves down.
Yeah.
And now the Prime Minister said, well, I can't ask the entire country to lock down, and then I'm going to go have a wedding. So she canceled her own wedding until such time as COVID restrictions are lifted in New Zealand. Those are the wacky COVID stories from around the world, but let's get to some wacky news now. Why don't we?
Let's do it.
Wacky news now. The wackier the better. There we go. All right, so we're starting in Dubai, Yo-Yo.
Okay.
Where I just came back from.
Yep.
Pretty crazy there, Dubai.
Yeah.
They have a 555.5 carat black diamond. 500. Are you listening to the numbers?
That's huge.
555.5 carats.
Hear the rest.
Let me tell you the number again. 500.
Look
how big that is. 500. You couldn't wear that anywhere.
No.
555.5 carat black diamond, and it's truly from out of this world. It's a rare gem, which Sotheby's has dubbed the Enigma, because it came from outer space.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't get the black diamond on Earth. It only comes if it falls from outer space. A natural faceted black diamond of this size is an extremely rare occurrence. According to Sotheby's, it is going to fetch a minimum of $6.8 million. Nikita Benini, a jewelry specialist at Sotheby's in London, called the diamond a true natural phenomenon. She said in a press release, its sale represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to acquire one of the rarest billion-year-old cosmic wonders known to humankind. Would you want a black 555 carat? Well, I mean, if someone wants to give it to you, but would you, if you had $6.8 million, is that where you'd be spending it?
No.
I wouldn't either. Doesn't even look that pretty to me.
It's not.
Right?
To me, it's
it
a
doesn't
stone.
sparkle.
Listen, it's a stone.
It doesn't sparkle. They're calling it a diamond, but is it really a diamond?
Right. That's just because it came from outer space.
Yeah.
$6.8 million?
I don't know.
I'm getting a mansion, y'all.
Now, this move sale follows the sale of a 101 carat diamond dubbed the Key, which became the most expensive jewel ever purchased with cryptocurrency when it sold last year. The pear-shaped gemstone sold for the equivalent of $12.3 million after the auctioneer announced it was accepting the offers in Bitcoin, in addition to traditional forms of payment. Meanwhile, in Australia, Yo-Yo, a man has bizarrely claimed he was stalked by a terrifying dog man. And he says he has pictures and proof of this dog man.
Okay.
He's a fisherman, so he doesn't even like dogs. He likes fish, but he is being stalked by dog man. This fisherman calls himself John. He claims he was left petrified for a month after encountering dog man on 2 separate occasions. Speaking on the Believe Paranormal and UFO podcast, the Aussie insisted he was followed by what he has branded Dog Man, and thought the Dog Man was going to kill him. We have pictures.
Did you see anything?
Let's see where the pictures are. Where's Dog Man? I don't see Dog Man. Where's Dog Man?
I'm sorry, I don't see nothing.
Is that Dog Man? I can't tell what the heck that is.
Oh gosh, and that's what they think.
That's what they think Dog Man is.
Oh, please.
Yeah, John, he was just minding his own business, fishing on a kayak on Boxing Day last year when the first incident happened. He said, I noticed that every time I took a stroke with the paddle of my kayak, whatever Dog Man was doing, it was taking a stride to each paddle I was taking. We have some audio.
I noticed that every time I took a stroke of my paddle with my kayak, it whatever this thing was, it was actually taking a stride to each paddle I was taking, and I thought it was a bit odd, and I sort of stopped for a bit, and the sound stopped in the bush too, and I thought that's a bit odd, and so I took off paddling again, and sure enough, as soon as I started to paddle, every stroke, this thing would take a step. I could stroke twice and it'd take 2 steps. I'd do 4 strokes in a row and it would take 4 steps, and every time I stopped, this thing was stopping. So whatever it was following me. It wasn't just a coincidence or anything, and it was more of a stalk.
Now that was the first time John saw him. Mm-hmm. John said he went back again, even though he was petrified. He went back to the bush for another fishing trip, and says he heard a bit of a bang followed by the sound of someone or something running. He said as it was running, it was smashing trees out of the way. I don't know if they were breaking or he was hitting them. You couldn't see what the bush was like because it was so thick. And then John said the dog man appeared. He started to roar, and he spent 10 minutes trying to escape back to the safety of his car. I never heard anything like this in my life, he said. It would roar, and then it would take a breath in. But then the breath it was taking was actually louder than the roar it was doing. This creature just went to another level. It was crazy. I could hear in my head something saying, go now or you're going to die, John. Go now or you will die. It wasn't my own voice, my own consciousness. It was something else. That 10 minutes, according to John, was probably the longest of my whole life. I thought I was going to be killed, he said. I had no weapons. I didn't even have my fishing knife. And despite this outlandish claim and his survival, people are doubting his story.
Really?
But John insists Dogman exists.
Do you think he exists?
I say if John says it exists, it exists.
Oh, okay.
I believe
in Dogman.
In Dogman. Why wouldn't a man half man, half dog, be living by himself in the bush, and only John, poor little fisherman, sees him. Nobody else has seen this guy. Of course, that makes perfect sense to me, Yonathan.
Right. And the one picture that he took, it looks like a bunch of leaves.
I think we got to get John together with, what's her name, Jill? The woman from Wednesday, Hub Day.
Who has an alien boyfriend.
Has Abby Bella. We have to get her together with Abby Bella. She was the one who had the alien. We'll get Abby Bella. There she is. We'll get Abby Bella with the alien boyfriend, John with the dog man. We'll put them together. Quite a podcast we would have with them.
Listen, Abby Bella might be interested in Dogman because she did say she's not dating humans anymore.
Right. Maybe she thinks she would leave the alien for Dogman?
You never know.
I do remember, like, a few months ago, we did a thing. I don't know if it was on Friday News or what's a Wacky News. I don't remember when we did it. But we talked about the world's first floating swimming pool, and it was opened up. Do we have a picture of it? It was in June.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yes, yeah. Yes, I'd be too scared to do that.
Yeah, and we said, would you do it? Would you be scared to do it?
I'd be too scared.
And people were paying up to $4.5 million for apartments in this building in London. And the key thing is that they have this swimming pool between the two buildings, this glass enclosed swimming pool. Well, guess what? It's now closed.
Why?
Because the people who bought the apartment buildings realized that it would cost £150,000, which is over $250,000 US, just to heat the damn thing all year.
What?
Because it gets so cold because it's glass and it's up in the sky with no insulation.
Oh, God. So they're like, nah.
So they're like, we're not going to spend $250,000 to heat this thing.
Did they not think about this when they created it?
No. So now it is closed. These people have spent a fortune of money. Buying apartments. They are pissed. And one resident said, we're livid.
Yeah, I would be too.
The outside temperature has obviously dropped. The sky pool is open to residents, uncovered, and we're basically heating the sky. It seems that we got ripped off.
So will it open like during summertime?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say, but they seem to.
It might be like a seasonal thing then.
Yes, and finally in wacky news, Yonathan, Italian pastry chef Nicholas Gentile, 37 years old, constructed his version of the Shire from the J.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth scene in the Lord of the Rings movie series. He designed his Shire from scratch and built a hobbit burrow on a plot of land in the countryside of Buccaniccio, half an hour's drive from the city of Chieti in Abruzzo, central Italy. Gentile documents his life as a real-life hobbit and mayor of the Shire. Gentile has been working as a pastry chef, but now he's just the mayor of the Shire. Would you want to live inside a tree?
No. I mean, if I was a big Lord of the Rings fan, then obviously I would, but
because he is now raising $1.78 million to build these homes through a crowdfunding because he believes that people would want to live like this.
I think people would.
Would you want to? I don't want to live like this.
Yeah, I would not. But look at them. They're enjoying themselves up in the forest. They look like...
That is just bizarre. And that's our wacky world. That is wacky. That is our wacky world. Jill is excited about it.
Jill, would you?
Yes, Jill says she likes it. She says it looks very relaxing to live in like a hobbit.
Like I would do this for like if we went camping, instead of going into a tent or like getting a cabin, like one night with friends or something, like go into a tree. Yeah, that's cool, but not to live.
This is what I would do. You would take me to your hobbit village.
Okay.
And you would say, here's the hobbit village.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go like this. Let's go for dinner.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
That's about as far.
But how about if I bring my wizard friend?
I'm going to tell you, I got about 7 seconds in the Hobbit Village. Maybe
That's it.
10 seconds in the Hobbit Village.
Seconds.
I've seen it. Let's go for dinner. That's what I would be doing.
That's too funny.
All right. We have TikTok time. Yes, we do. In this edition of TikTok time, I answer questions about traveling and living abroad, essential workers, and a green card holder marrying an F1.
If a U.S. citizen stays out of the U.S. for 2 years or 10 years, they're still a U.S. citizen. And if they give birth to a child abroad outside of the United States, most likely that child's a U.S. citizen. You just go and apply for a U.S. passport. It depends what you're delivering, what is whether or not you would be essential or not. If you're delivering food, for example, you're essential. If you're delivering supplies for tennis court repair, it's not essential. No, flying over Canada is not leaving the U.S. If you board an airplane at a domestic U.S. airport and you land, your next place you land is at a domestic U.S. airport, you have never left the United States of America. Good luck on your trip to Alaska. If a green card holder marries a non-immigrant in legal status in the United States, that non-immigrant can apply for adjustment of status immediately. In most states, it's 1 year or less for a green card.
All right. We ready for some meat and potatoes?
Yeah.
Some potatoes and some meat?
Yep.
A little bit of both? You got your immigration questions. I've got your answers. Let's watch. All right, we're going to go to Otis in Kingston, Jamaica. Hi, Otis. Otis.
Hello, Brad.
Hi, Otis. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. What's going on?
Well, I have a case. I filed for my wife in 2018. I am a resident, not a citizen. Because of COVID, everything was delayed. But the filing was accepted in October 2019. Now, she has finally gotten a date for an interview, but on checking, we found that they have said our thing is incomplete because I need to fill out a 864 EZ.
Okay.
I filled out the 864, which was accepted.
Okay.
I do not qualify to fill out the 864 EZ.
Okay.
What do I do?
Well, do you have 3 years tax returns?
No, I do not work in the United States, so there is no way I can fill out the EZ.
So then you need someone else to give an affidavit of support. And then
No, I have somebody has given an affidavit of support.
Yes, and submit that. You submit a regular I-864. You sign it with no income. You get the second affidavit.
No, we did that. All of that was done.
All right, so good. Do it again because obviously they don't seem to have it. You fill out. This is what you do.
Why would they say the
I don't know.
EZ
I'm not the U.S. Embassy. I don't know. I didn't handle your case. I don't know what you're looking at. All I can do is tell you what you need to do at this moment. And what you do at this moment is you fill out an I-864. You sign it before a notary. You have no income. You get a second I-864 from somebody else in the United States with 3 years tax returns and a job letter. You have two issues that you're going to confront. Issue number one is, I hope you didn't abandon your permanent residence by living in Jamaica for the last 3 years. And issue number two is if you're not working and kind of living in Jamaica, you're going to have to show the U.S. government that you and your spouse plan on living permanently in the United States. You're not going to live in Jamaica.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Pearl in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Hello, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good. Okay. My question is, I've been in the U.S. for a little over 5 years. I came with a J1. I was an au pair.
Right.
So now I'm trying to apply for an F1 student visa. I'm trying to go to nursing school. So my question to you is, what are the possibilities of them giving me the F1 visa?
You're on an au pair visa now?
No, I was.
What is your status now?
I overstayed.
So you're not going to get an F1 visa because you can't change your status here. And if you go home, you've shown an intent to minimally violate non-immigrant visas, and most likely an intent to live in the United States. So your chances are, for all intents and purposes, zero. You need to figure out another way.
Okay, thank you very
All
much.
right. Let's go. Oh, you know who's driving us crazy? Abdul Ghaffar Hikmat, begging on Facebook for me to take his call. He's been.
one of them?
Yeah, he's been waiting 45 minutes, but man's begging. Abdul, I'm coming to you right now. Abdul, what's going on? Abdul, begging, and now he's not even here. Would you believe that? You knew that was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen.
Abdul, Hikmat Ghaffar.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, now I hear you. Oh my gosh. I knew that was going to happen.
Thank you so much, sir. I have a question. Sorry, I don't want to take your time. My question is, my I-70 for my wife and kids is approved from the immigration, and they send it to the National Visa Center for visa processing. And after that, after 10 days, I think, I received the letter that they send my document to the National Benefit Center for speed processing. And it's almost more than 3 months that I'm waiting for that case. I didn't get any details. It's still in the National Benefit Center. National Visa Center have to send the documents to the embassy for visa. But I don't know why they send back the documents to the National Benefit Center. And what will happen next, I don't know.
All right. You filed a visa petition for your spouse. It got approved to the National Visa Center, and then the National Visa Center transferred it back to the National Benefits Center?
Yes, sir.
Then somebody wrote the National Visa Center and said your spouse and your child are going to be in the U.S. and going to adjust their status. That's what happened.
Yes, because I'm here in U.S. I become like.
Where's your wife and daughter? Where's your wife and daughter?
In Afghanistan.
So then why would you transfer the case back to the National Benefit Center? That makes no sense.
That's why I'm confused.
Yeah, you're confused because your case was at the NVC, and then either you or somebody else wrote the National Visa Center, which is where your case was supposed to be, to do the affidavits of support so you can get your family an appointment at a U.S. Embassy, maybe not in Afghanistan, but somewhere nearby. And
like
what happened is somebody wrote a letter to the National Visa Center and said your wife and kids in the U.S. and they're going to adjust their status. That's why it gets transferred back.
That's why I'm confused.
I'm confused too. Why anybody would write that or do that? You need help.
It's almost approved. I have the approved letter.
You need help. The case got to be transferred back to the National Visa Center, and it has to be expedited because your wife and daughter's in Afghanistan, a very dangerous place. And then, they got to get to a third country and process for their green cards. But I think you need some help. Hold on 1 second, Abdul. All right. Yeah, he needs help. Jeremiah in New Orleans.
Hello, Brad. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for asking. Hey, Brad. I've called your show before, which you told me to call back, but I did. Unfortunately, my call was not no one answered. But anyway, I'm calling today because I've been in the country for about 31 years, man. I came here as a young man. And I came here as a Liberian. I was paroled into the country during the war.
Right.
And, in the 90s, I got mixed up, with some legal situation, which they ordered me to be removed from the country then. But the government was unable to remove me from the country. I filed a habeas corpus. I was released on a habeas corpus from.
What was the illegal things that you got yourself involved in?
What it was, the guy that I had an immigration officer who thought that my marriage was fraudulent. So he always come to my house unannounced. Even when I separated with my wife.
You got a green card?
No, I don't have a green card.
Why was this immigration officer so overly involved in your marriage?
Yeah, because he thought that I married my wife for a green card purposes, even though we had a child together.
All right. So the end result is what? Tell me the end result.
The end result is okay.
By the way, there's more to the story than what you're telling me, but just tell me the end result, and then we'll figure it out.
The end result is they're unable to remove me. They release me back into the country, on a supervision program. But then my daughter filed for I-130 petition, which was approved.
But if they believe that you were in a marriage fraud, you can never get a green card.
No, it has nothing to do with marriage. I'm saying that was the immigration agent intention of invading the house. Then when they came to the house, they found a gun, and which they charged me with the possession of firearm, even though the firearm was not registered on my name, and it wasn't in my possession, but the fact that I was in the house.
Jeremiah, I've lost your story about 15 minutes ago. Tell me what your question is. Tell me what your question is.
My question is, I was approved on an I-130 petition, which was filed by my oldest daughter, and but my lawyer is saying that she still have to write a letter to the immigration seeking for some kind of a waiver from them. And this is the second time they have approved it. The first one expired. We refiled again.
You've been ordered deported. You're in deportation. You need a waiver because you did something wrong. We still haven't figured it out yet. I don't know how to answer your particular question. 31 years. There was an immigration officer investigating you for marriage fraud. You were in removal. You were in jail. You did a habeas corpus to get removed. You said you've never been ordered deported, but then you were sitting in jail for all these years. Your daughter files a visa petition. Your lawyer's telling you need a waiver. You don't seem to know why. I'll tell you what you need is a consultation. Hold on. We got to get to the bottom of it. Hold on. All right, let's go to Richard in Hudson, New York.
Hello, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, I have a question here. I filed a high 30 for my wife in Jamaica.
Yep. Excuse me. I got the wrong pipe.
And they write me back and said there was a paper that was missing.
What paperwork was missing?
The divorce decree, the last paper that the judge.
Who's divorced? Yours or your wife's?
I did. I was the one that divorced.
Okay, so what's the problem?
So I sent it back to them on April 20th, 2001, right. And I never heard anything else.
April 2001 or 21?
2001. 21.
21.
21. Right.
And you still haven't heard anything? You're a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen.
Where did you get the divorce? Where was your divorce from?
The divorce was from here.
From the United States?
Right, in the United States.
Okay, and there's nothing funny about that divorce that we need to be worried about?
No, but the thing about it, nothing, because we get the divorce, I send the paper back in.
So if you submitted the... When did you originally file the I-130?
Okay, I have a lawyer that was supposed to be working on this case, so I'm calling you.
Just answer the question. When was the I-130 originally filed?
It was filed in September 2020.
Okay. So my guess is that they sent you an RFE right at the beginning of the case because you did not submit a completed application. And then you gave the divorce back in April of 2021. So you lost all of that waiting time from September 2020 to April 2021. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 8 months of waiting for your family because you screwed up or your lawyer screwed up. Immigration takes the position that until you submit a completed application, your application's not filed. So although you filed it in September, immigration's processing your case as if it was filed in April 2021. So if you call immigration, they're saying, well, what do you want from us? It's only been pending 9 months. You're not going to hear on your case till this summer, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm paying a lawyer. He should be the one that looking over this paperwork.
Of course.
Oh, my God. What do you think about it? So I call you because he's not saying anything to me. He's not calling. He's not,
you can speak to me. You can speak to me. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Teresa in Suffern, New York.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. I have, I think, 3 questions.
Sure.
I'm really hoping you can help me. So the first one is I'm here on an F1, but I'm also married to a U.S. citizen. But the thing that I'm confused about is that I'm trying to stay on my F1 until my adjustment is finalized. That's fine, right?
No, you filed an adjustment?
Yes, I did.
There's no what you want. When you file an adjustment, you have a pending adjustment. You're not on an F1 anymore. End of story.
Oh,
has
oh
nothing
my
to
God.
Do, has nothing to do with what you want. It's what the law says. You now have a pending
I
adjustment.
didn't know this, and
Yes.
this is why I'm going to ask this question now,
Okay.
because I'm in the nursing program, and the school said that I had to, because I'm pregnant too, they said I had to do a reduced course load because I'm heavily pregnant and I can't go to school. So I submitted that.
If you have a pending adjustment, you can do whatever classes or no classes you want. It's up to you. You don't have to stay as full-time student anymore.
So the F1 is out. I don't know why I'm still holding on to it.
I don't know why either.
Okay, thank you so much.
Did I answer
one last
everything?
question. No.
Oh.
One last question. I'm sorry. So I after I did I filed the documents and so on. They sent me an I-693, and they said that I should, I think, send some medical to them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long after that letter I would normally probably hear from them? The time period?
They're saying do the medical, but bring it to the interview, right?
Yeah, bring it to the interview, or if the interview is not needed.
Don't do it right now. You'll do it when the interview comes. Figure it's about a year to get an interview from the time you file.
Okay, so because I don't know why I told my school that I've adjusted, or well, I'm trying to adjust, but they still sending me these things to, these documents to still stay on this to submit to CVIS.
No,
I don't know.
You don't need to be on CVIS anymore. Just say this CVIS is done. Here's a copy of my adjustment application. No longer on an F1.
Maybe that's why I'm confused. So they keep doing this.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Enjoy your new family on the way. That's what you should be doing. Whoops. Tanique in Orlando, Florida.
Hi, Brad. How you doing?
Good.
Okay, so I have 3 questions, right?
Everybody with 3 questions today.
I'll make it really quick. Okay, so I filed for my daughter I started the process back in 2018, right? She was documentarily qualified for a visa back in 2020, August of 2020. I still haven't heard anything from the embassy nor NVC, right?
Are you a citizen or a resident?
I'm a permanent resident. I filed for my citizen this year.
August 2020. So we're coming up almost now on 2 years.
Yes.
Or a year and a half at least. And how old's your daughter?
She's 7.
All right. What you need, and this is in Jamaica?
Yes, she's in Jamaica.
Yeah, the problem is Jamaica is so bad. They're backed up probably 2 years on visa appointments. And we talked about this yesterday. If you can come up with a humanitarian reason why this child needs to get an appointment right away, maybe her caregiver can't take care of her anymore. Maybe there's a health problem. Maybe she's living in conditions that are not, very nice. But you have to come up with some very sad humanitarian reason why your daughter has to jump ahead of the 2 years of people that have been waiting to get an appointment.
I did, and they denied all. I sent them like 5, and they denied all of it, saying that's not an emergency.
Okay, I don't know what you said, but...
Okay, so the next question is, right, when I filed for my citizenship, 5 years, I'll be here 5 years in September, but I can file in June. I'm no longer with my husband. Will that affect anything?
No.
Okay, and the last question is, can I do a student visa for my little sister who's in Jamaica?
You can always try. Whether they give it to her or not, who knows?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Sophia in Brooklyn. Sophia.
Oh. Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good.
My question is, I want to know if my daughter filed for me for residency, or if I was to file in marriage. I wanted to know, would I have a problem getting my residency, because in 1991 I was charged for possession. So that would be that's my question.
You were charged for possession of what?
Of controlled substance.
And what happened with the case?
They gave me 30 days.
Was this like a small amount of cocaine?
On the paper it said 5 grams. 5 grams.
Of what?
Of controlled substance.
What was the controlled substance?
I think it was
crack cocaine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
All right. Now, where did this happen? In New York?
It happened in Virginia.
In Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay. That would prevent you from getting a green card.
Okay.
All right. In New York, simple possession of cocaine actually doesn't. In the Second Circuit, they've come up with a rule that says that controlled substance in the 7th degree is not an inadmissible offense. Virginia, I don't believe, is in the Second Circuit. We would have to see what that particular circuit is saying. Off the top of my head, the general rule is drug possession you can't, but I know there's this odd rule of simple possession of cocaine 7th degree in New York that allows you. We would have to, I don't know what you pled guilty to in Virginia. I would have to actually look at the law.
Okay.
But so don't do anything, make an appointment.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, let's go to Shalise in Brooklyn. Hi, Shalise.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
Hi, I'm okay.
What can I do to help you? Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. My question is, I got my green card in 2021, but now the National Visa Center is writing me. They wrote me last week and telling me that they're canceling my application for a visa. I got it already.
Did you adjust your status here?
Yeah, they gave me my green card, everything already.
That wasn't my question. That wasn't my question.
Okay.
My question was, did you adjust your status in the United States?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Where did you go for your interview?
I went in Manhattan.
So you adjusted your status. You adjusted your status in the United States. So what the National Visa Center is writing you saying, you got your green card already. We don't need to make an appointment for you in your home country. Case closed. Don't worry about it. You have a green card.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I was worried about it. Thank you, Brad.
Okay, bye. Let's go to Angie in Los Angeles.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Angie.
I have a question. I have a friend who came here 3 years ago on a B1, B2 visa.
Right.
And overstayed. And she was a nurse back home. So she managed to transfer her nursing documents here in the states of California. So now she's unable to work because she doesn't have a social. So I just wanted to find out if there was another way that she can get a social without marriage.
I don't know anything about. So tell me, where's she from?
She's from Africa, Zambia.
And what type of visa did she come here on?
A tourist visa.
And she overstayed her time?
Yes.
And does she have any family here?
No.
Has her mother and father ever tried to get a green card?
She has a sister that has a green card.
But that's it?
Asylum.
But that's it?
Yes.
Okay. And she did not herself apply for asylum?
No, she didn't apply for asylum.
Okay. Sounds like to me, I mean, I could speak to her and ask more questions, but it sounds like to me that bona fide marriage would be the way to go.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
Let's go to Kobe in Los Angeles. Kobe.
Hello, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good evening. I'm good. How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
So I applied for VAWA in January 2020.
Right.
And, I've gotten multiple prima facie. But right now I'm dating. And my girlfriend, she's a green card holder. So I wanted to, seek your advice and see which would be better.
Well, have you gotten your VAWA approved yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. If you marry your girlfriend and she becomes your wife, that's the end of your VAWA. Okay. And if you're married to a permanent resident, overstayed your time, then you got to go home and do a provisional waiver. So now you have no work permit, no adjustment of status. You got to start from scratch, file an I-130, do a provisional waiver, go home and come back. You're looking at years. So if you're asking me what's the better process for your green card, stick with the VAWA. After your VAWA is approved, you can marry her. If your VAWA gets denied, marry her. You want to live together. It's like being husband and wife. You just don't have a piece of paper. If she becomes a U.S. citizen, then that's a different story because then you can adjust your status here. So then that's a choice of whether you want to continue your VAWA or do it based on your marriage. But right now, I would not suggest for immigration purposes marrying your permanent resident girlfriend because that would put you back and not set you forward.
Okay, so if because I didn't overstay my visa, so I came as an F1, went through my F1, did my OPT. I was dating someone at the time, and we got married, and it didn't work out. So I don't think I ever overstayed my visa or went out of status. So peradventure, we're going with what you said. If the vow gets denied and I can marry my current girlfriend, will I be able to still file concurrently, or
no? Because you've overstayed. Once your adjustment's denied, you're out of status, even for that 1 second. So your girlfriend, how long has she had a green card?
About 2 years now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have like the worst VAWA case in the world, then I think you have to have a consultation with me. Other than that, I would stick out the VAWA.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Let's go to Ocean in Jefferson City, Missouri.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good.
So I came here to the States in 2016 on a F1 visa.
Right.
And I graduated school in December of 2020, and I'm currently working as a registered nurse on my OPT.
Okay.
However, that OPT will expire March of this year. Is there any way that I could extend my OPT because I've searched high and low, and everybody is saying...
Is your employer willing to sponsor you?
They wanted to, but they don't know how to. So currently,
do you have this? Did you ever get the CGFNS visa screen?
I'm working with an agency, and they're saying that being that I went to school here, I don't have to get a visa screen.
Okay, if that's the case. If you have an employer and you have a degree from the United States of America as a nurse, and they want to sponsor you as a nurse, it's a Schedule A, which means you don't have to do a perm or labor application. You file an I-140 visa petition and adjustment concurrently. You'll get your work permit in about 4 months, and you get a green card in a year, as long as you do it while you're in status. So it sounds like you have about 2 months left to do it.
Right. Is there any way that I could extend my OPT so that I don't...
You don't need to. If you file your adjustment now, you will be in legal status every day.
Okay. And will I be able to work even though...
You have a work permit now on OPT. You will be filing a new work permit. In a work permit extension, you're legally allowed to work for 180 days, waiting for the approval of the work permit.
Gotcha. Okay.
File an adjustment and get your green card. Every day is counting.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Lilu.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Yeah, I filed for VAWA in June 2021.
Right.
And I received my prima facie in August 2021. Then since then, I have no news, nothing. But on the other side, I have a master hearing in May, this coming May. So I really don't know what to do.
So you're not going to get a decision until 2024. You're going to go to the master calendar hearing in May, bring proof that you filed your VAWA, tell the judge you have a pending VAWA. The judge can't do anything to you until they make a decision at USCIS. So you'll go, here's my VAWA. Judge will say, okay, I'll see you in 2025.
Oh, okay. So what about the work permit? Because I don't have a work permit, nothing.
Well, you should file an adjustment with the VAWA.
So I need to wait to be approved, right?
No, file it now.
No?
Yeah, file an adjustment now. You'll get a work permit.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Nicholas in Amarillo, Texas. Nicholas.
Hello.
Hi.
Good. Good. How are you, Brad?
Good. What's going on?
I've been watching your show for the past 2 years now. and you are really doing an awesome job.
Okay, thank you.
And I have a problem.
What?
And the problem is I'm married to a U.S. citizen. We married in 2010, and we have 2 kids together. And I filed for I-130, and then the I-130 was denied because I came here to another woman.
You came on a K-1?
Yeah, K-1, yes, sir.
So what, did you marry the woman who you came on a K-1 to?
Yes, I married her.
Okay. Did she file a visa petition and adjustment of status for you?
She only filed for a fiancé visa.
She never filed an adjustment for you?
No.
Are you in good terms with her and not good terms with her?
We are not. I've already divorced her.
If you were to reach out to her, would she sign an affidavit of support for you?
She will never do it.
She would never do anything to help you?
Never.
Okay. Do you have proof that it was a real marriage?
I have a proof, and I have a marriage certificate from Ghana. I mean, a marriage certificate.
Well,
from
marriage
Ghana.
certificate just means that the marriage happened. Do you have a proof that you were in a relationship with her?
Yes.
Okay. So what you need to do is you'll never be able to adjust your status here, ever. What you need to do is have the I-130 approved, sent to the National Visa Center, do a provisional waiver, get the provisional waiver approved, go back to your home country. You'll be interviewed on the bona fides of marriage 1 and 2. Marriage 2 is simple. You got 2 kids. As long as you have bona fides that the first marriage was real, you'll come back with a green card in about 2 weeks.
Okay, Brad, I'm married to this one that I'm talking about right now. We have 2 kids together.
I understand that. If you come on a K-1 visa, you can only adjust your status through the marriage to the woman who brought you on the K-1. Unless she gave you an affidavit of support or is willing to do it now. If she's not, you're ineligible under the law to adjust your status to your second wife, your third wife, your 10th wife. It doesn't matter. You cannot adjust your status because this woman won't help you who brought you on a K-1. So what I'm saying is you can go home to pick up your green card. But if you go home, you have a 10-year bar for being out of status for all of these years. You need a provisional waiver. You get the provisional waiver approved. Now you don't have a 10-year bar. Now you have no immigration law violation against you. When you go home, they're going to question you about one thing and one thing only. Have you ever committed fraud? And they want to know, did you commit fraud on getting the K visa? And have you committed fraud anywhere else? So what I'm saying to you is there's no fraud in your current marriage. You got 2 kids. The only fraud, potential fraud, is in the K-1. That they're going to say some way that you never had the intention of being with this woman who brought you here on the K-1. So that's why I asked you, do you have proof that you and her were in a relationship? Because if you do, then what are they going to say? Here's my proof. We were in a real relationship. It didn't work out. And then I married woman number 2. We have 2 kids together. And they'll say, here, Nicholas, here's your green card. Go back to the U.S. and be with your family.
Okay.
Got it? Hold
on. The question is, I can't leave those kids over here. I'm having problem with this woman that I'm married to in America. We're married since 2013.
What is the problem?
She moved with another dude.
All right. So now you're either going to end up being on divorce and do wife number 3. Maybe there's a potential for an abuse case if there was. I don't know. We got to figure out your life. Hold on.
It is.
Okay. All right. So let's figure out your life. Hold on one second. All right. I can't figure out the whole man's life on a Bradshaw Live. This is a call in to get a legal question answered, not a call in to solve my life.
Yeah.
People want me to solve their life.
They do.
Sometimes I do. But sometimes
you need a consultation.
Need a little longer than, we'll all, be here till midnight figuring out his life. We can figure it out. We just got to spend some more time.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you didn't get your immigration question asked and answered, you could always follow me on Instagram at RealBradBernstein. You follow me on Instagram at RealBradBernstein. You could drop me a DM. I'll try to answer your question as best as I can. You can also follow us on Instagram at Bradshaw Live. You don't like 2 hours of me, but you like 30 seconds of me, maybe a minute of yo-yo. Follow us on Instagram at Bradshaw Live. And of course, our fastest growing social media platform, TikTok. You can leave your questions on TikTok in the comments. You can leave your questions on TikTok in the question and answer. And you may be lucky enough for me to answer it and give you a full video answer to your legal question for you, but everyone else gets to see it too.
Yep, and you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And self-proclaimed digital nomad, Saloua Ibaline. Saloua Ibaline.
Just like Kahlua.
Kahlua.
But Saloua.
Is a business and life coach. Later in the show, Yonathan will speak to Saloua about her business and her new book, The Stories of Immigrant Women Entrepreneurs in the United States of America.
And now, FDNY Lieutenant Serena Sarisakul tells us the number one thing she would like to see in U.S. immigration reform. Now, of course, you know, we're going to be looking in the comments, so please let us know what you would like to see changed as well.
What is the number one change you want to see in U.S. immigration reform?
The most pressing would be the refugee cap, and that it's just such a international crime to not allow refugees into this country. That's what this country was founded on. People are fleeing for their lives, and there should be just an open door policy for refugees.
Social media check-in, let's do it.
All right, Melanie Abiola Allen, a VIP Facebook member. My eldest filed for me and I got through. I have 2 other children, soon to be 20 and 13. Can I take them with me and file for them in the USA? And if so, how soon after you land can you file for them?
I don't know how if they have visitors visas, they can come with, you can immigrate to the US and they can come visit you. And then after 90 days of them visiting, before they overstay their time, you can file for their adjustment. But otherwise, I don't know how they're going to come with you to the U.S.
So once I file for the oldest before she's 21, she would not age out, right?
Not necessarily, and an F2A could age out.
Okay, and can you file for a student visa from the USA?
You can, but my guess is that they would be denied for immigrant intent.
Marian Azubikiwe on Facebook, a Facebook VIP member. How do I go about an EB visa application?
An EB? Mm-hmm. Which one? This EB1, EB2, EB3?
This says EB.
An employment-based application. It's a big, big question. Need to know more.
It's Apple Pie, VIP Facebook member. Can you explain the Child Status Protection Act for family-based petitions for the F1 category?
If you are a derivative on the F1 petition, which means you are a child under the age of 21 years old, and you've been petitioned for by, I guess, a grandparent, which would be a mother or father who is a U.S. citizen filing for their unmarried son or daughter who is over the age of 21, the children of that unmarried son or daughter over 21 are included in the case, which would be the grandchildren. They get till 21 under the law to get their green cards, as long as the main beneficiary gets his or her green card before the child turns 21, and that child is accompanying that main beneficiary for a green card interview, that child will get a green card as well. Under the Child Status Protection Act, what happens sometimes is that children age out. They turn 22, 23, 24, they fall off the case before the main beneficiary gets a green card. Under the Child Status Protection Act, you get to add the time it took for the I-130 visa petition to get approved to the child's 21st birthday, and provided the affidavits of support and the fee bills are paid within the time of the child's 21st birthday, plus the time it took for the I-130 visa petition to be approved, and within 1 year of visa availability, that child's age is in cement and doesn't age out. As a means of an example, let's say mom is filing for It's Apple Pie, and It's Apple Pie has a little baby apple pie at home, okay? And when mom files for It's Apple Pie, mom's baby, It's Apple Pie's baby apple pie is 15 years old, and the I-130 takes 5 years to get approved. Now you get to add 5 years onto child's little apple pie's birthday. So now little apple pie gets not till 21 before they fall off, gets till 26 before they fall off. Now, if visas become available by little apple pie's 26th birthday, and they pay the fee bills, and they do the affidavits of support, little apple pie is saved. However, if the I-130 took 15 days to get approved, and now it's apple pie's immigrant visa is available, and little apple pie is 23 or 24, they've fallen off. That was way too long.
That was.
Yes.
But, hey,
but she said it's not a simple thing to explain.
Yes, you explained it.
All right.
All right. Crystal Perry, a Facebook VIP member. How long does it take to change your category at NVC?
As fast as NVC can accept a letter from you.
God's Warrior on YouTube. I got married to a U.S. citizen and got my first green card in 2018. I did the removal of condition in 2020 and just got approval on January 22nd. But can I file for my kids that already passed the age of 18?
Yes.
Lilu M.I. on YouTube. I applied for a VAWA last year. My concern is to have a master's hearing.
You spoke to her.
Okay. Idea for nature.
I told her file the adjustment, Lilu.
Lilu,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Idea for Nature on YouTube. I have my brother, he got DNA testing with my mom for RFE on July 2020. Until now, there hasn't been any information. Do you think something is wrong with this case?
Who filed for who?
Says I have my brother, he got DNA testing with my mom for RFE on July 2020.
It's been a year and a half. As long as mom's DNA and your brother's DNA matches, I don't think there's a problem. If 2 years have gone by, give me a call.
Daryl Winneba on YouTube. A person wants to adopt her niece who has come to the U.S. with a B2 visa before, but she returned back. What can be done if the niece comes back to the U.S. or stays in Africa?
Say it again.
A person wants to adopt her niece who has come to the U.S. with a B2 visa before, but she returned back. What can be done if the niece comes back to the U.S. or stays in Africa?
If the niece comes back to the U.S., you wouldn't do an adoption. You do a special immigrant juvenile, provided you can show that the niece has been abandoned by at least one parent.
Aisha Dawkins on Facebook. My I-485 AOS from an approved VAWA was transferred to the NVC, but I can't track the processing time. Do you know how I can know what priority date they're at? I'm August 2021.
Who filed for who? Say it again.
My I-485 AOS from an approved VAWA was transferred to the NVC, but I can't track the processing time. Do you know how I can know what priority date they're at? I'm August 2021.
Priority date for the adjustment? I don't know, was your VAWA approved? That's why I'm getting confused.
It was, yes. My I-485 AOS from an approved VAWA was transferred to NVC.
The adjustment of status priority date is the date your VAWA was approved. Is that her question?
So, okay, let me read it one more time. My I-485 AOS from an approved VAWA was transferred to NVC, but I cannot track the processing time. Do you know how I can know what priority date they're at? I am.
Oh, if you want to know what priority date they're at, go to uscis.gov. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Susie Max, Susie Q on YouTube. Can someone who applied for VAWA and is not yet approved apply for I-130 for her 8-year-old daughter who's out of status in the USA?
Yes.
And last one, Anil Grung on YouTube. My mother has a U.S. citizenship. I'm married, but at this time, I have divorced my husband. I have 2 children. Can my mother file a petition? My unmarried son and daughter are over 21.
Say that one last time. I apologize.
Okay. All right. My mother has a U.S. citizenship. I'm married, but at this time, I have divorced my husband. I have 2 children. Can my mother file a petition for my unmarried son and daughter over 21?
No, because that's their grandchildren.
Right.
No, the answer is no.
Right.
Okay. All right, so this week, Yonathan has been speaking with certified business and life coach and author of the Stories of Immigrant Women Entrepreneurs in the United States of America, Saloua Ibaline. Saloua told us about her immigration story coming from Morocco to Belgium to the United States. And now we will hear about her business and her book, which spotlights female immigrant entrepreneurs.
Yeah, at least you got the name right. You got the name right this time.
I did get the name right. I finally got it right.
The last time you're going to say it. The last time you say it. But that's all good.
It's all good. Would all be good if we can actually get the...
Yeah, it's gonna... Couple seconds.
Question for you.
Hey, Brad Squad. Yonathan Elias here with Saloua Ibaline, the certified business coach, marketing expert, and author of the recently published book, The Stories of Immigrant Women, Entrepreneurs in the United States of America. Saloua, how you doing? I love your name, by the way. I love your name. Thank you for joining us today. So talk to us about this digital nomad.
The digital nomad started because my business was remote, and I think I was ahead of the game back then because I started in 2014-ish, and I was already using Zoom and I was already building my practice. But then I eventually got into a relationship in New York, and my ex and I really wanted to move to Phoenix, Arizona, and I followed him there. And there, my business was not taken up because nobody knew me as a coach. So I had to get a job. And that's the only corporate job I ever got. And I worked for Google. So I got a job at Google in Phoenix, which was really good. And that gave me the knowledge to learn more about digital marketing.
Yeah.
I was managing a book of millions of dollars with marketing agencies. We had extensive training. It was really, really stressful. When I left that job, I took that knowledge and I added the digital marketing into my business. That's the reason why I was able to be completely remote. So I was offering these services as well, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and you name it, SEO, all this. And then when the relationship ended with my ex, I was like, what am I doing here? I want to see the world. I felt like I lost 15 years of my life, struggled in New York. And that's when I said, I'm going back. And then the book idea came in, and I did this whole book while I was on the road. So I ran my business as a coach, and I worked on the book, which has been published, Stories of Immigrant Women Entrepreneurs. And in there, you have women from, I think, 22 countries living in 10 different states in the US and representing 5 different continents.
So being an immigrant is, probably a big part of your brand. How has that influenced your career?
Very much so, because with my coaching, I realized that I actually attract a lot of immigrant women. And that's when I was like, okay, I think that should be my market, because regular women in America is already a very difficult niche. But focusing on immigrant women has actually given me an edge because I understand them and they can relate with me and they can see me as the woman that kind of paved the way. And I wish I had somebody like me when I was younger that I could relate to, but I really had to figure out a lot of it by myself. I think mentally, you need a certain strength to be able to manage a new country like the US. With nothing, it's very difficult. A lot of people give up and they leave.
How about as an immigrant entrepreneur? What were some of the challenges that you went through?
The main one, and I talk about this in the book, is about getting funded. We immigrants, we have no credit store. We have no... The credit system, that's something I'm still struggling with, but I got a lot better. But for the longest, we're like, why do we need debt to be more in debt? I don't get the system. In Europe, we're taught to only spend money you have. And if you don't have the money, you don't spend it. So I have a whole page here on investing in immigrant women entrepreneurs. So look at this. In the US, we have 1.9 million firms who are owned by Hispanic women. And do you know how much they generate in revenue?
How much?
$97 billion. Why are we not funded? And they hire 550,000 workers or employees. So there's so much to be made if people believe a little bit more in immigrants. Why? Because we are so ambitious. We see problems and we see how we can solve them. We find solution from them. We're not afraid of working hard.
What advice could you give for aspiring entrepreneurs?
If they really want to be an entrepreneur, first of all, it's not easy. It's not for everybody. But I really believe that everybody can start with a side hustle, your own business on the side. I think everybody should have some sort of other income, more than one income. Spend a lot of time learning. I've done this a lot. So between reading, going to conferences, and if you don't have much money to start with what you have. Find a mentor, find a support group, and then get involved in that. There's a lot of things you can do for free. And as you start making a little bit more money, then hire people who have the skills to teach you, because there's a big difference between the free stuff you can learn and somebody who can really show you exactly what you need to know for your business. What I also love about America and in the system is that it's one of the only few countries where you can have an idea. And if you're smart enough and work hard enough, you can really make it happen.
Now, what would you want people to learn more about from your book?
So the book was designing for 2 reasons. One, we wanted to inspire immigrants who are coming in this country and show the stories of other women who have done and paved the way, especially women who are here and are struggling or they thinking about giving up. And then the other one is to actually educate American-borns about immigrants, but shedding the lights, positive lights on our stories. Because sadly, a lot of time when I hear immigrant story, I only hear things about, illegal immigrants taking our job, crossing the borders illegally, trying to get our benefits and all of that nonsense. But I was like, do you know, all of these women are here legally. They all started a business and they all employing Americans and they are getting stuff done.
So now in 2019, immigrant entrepreneurs made up 21.7% of all business owners in the United States, despite making up just over 13.6% of the population and 17.1% of the U.S. labor force. This is according to newamericaneconomy.org. So how do you feel about that?
First of all, let's not forget that America is built on immigrants.
It's in the history.
No one is from here except the natives. No one. I also know, as a stats that I was doing on my book, 40% of businesses owned and operated by immigrants are in California. That's almost half of the economy. It's California.
What have you learned from writing this book?
Oh man, so many things. First of all, I never wrote a book before. I was like, and I had the vision. I was like, okay, we need to do this. And one thing that I learned is like, start with what you have today and then let the universe or whatever you call it support you. Because when you're really on a mission, things will develop for you. And it really did. The first thing I did is like, okay, I had a dream about these things. I wrote some sort of a proposal. I'm like, okay. And then I put it out there. I was like, okay, who is interested in being interviewed for this? And I interviewed over 100 women to only feature 27. And then the second thing is like, okay, I'm going to start asking for help. So I was asking, can anybody here help me out with copy? And this one woman that I know is my friend. She's like, yeah, I went to, she has a master's degree. She's really good at this. I was like, can you help out with this? She's like, sure. Got on board for free, by the way.
Love it.
She got on board. This is hundreds and hundreds of hours of work. And then out of the co-working space I joined, I met this woman who is a designer. She actually does books. I sent her the proposal. I'm like, look, I don't have money to pay you now, but if we make sales, I can do something for you. And she said, you know what? I love the project. I'm growing my portfolio. I'm in. She became the designer. Now we're a team of 3. Then in my digital nomad journey, I met this UK guy who's a copywriter in the UK, in London. And he wanted to proofread the book for free. And he also got part of the team. So now I developed a team all for free. You know, I value them highly. It's very important to tell people the story. And then to get funded, I got a GoFundMe page. I pitched a project. I made a video. And we got probably $2,000 out of that. And I was able to pay for a cover designer for this cover because I really wanted it to be this way. And little by little, you find people who really want to support you.
Oh, Saloua, what's next for you then?
I am actually going to do a workbook for this. Women can really use a how-to, you know? We're going to talk about immigration, mindset. And also, I found out a lot of immigrant women come here and they dim their lights because they don't think they speak English enough.
We need that. We need them to know this.
They have so much potential, and then we need them to live their mission and purpose. There's a woman in the book. She has an amazing business, and I'm talking, she makes well over $200,000 a year and her own business. And she still feels, she's like, as long as I have to work in it, I don't feel like I'm successful enough. I don't want to share my story.
So I remember you saying you interviewed hundreds of women. Now, what made you decide to pick the 27 that you chose?
We really wanted to know if the story was interesting and could inspire other people. And then we wanted a diversity. So we wanted to make sure we had people from each 5 continents, because we also knew this story would be different. So a woman coming from Cameroon will be different from a woman coming from Germany.
Wow.
Right. But also, I didn't put any numbers on this. I didn't say successful immigrant women entrepreneurs. Like, we have a woman here, she has a nonprofit, and she's working for, you know, helping the rights of DACA recipients in Arizona. Among us work. She works with the government. She's like doing so much. But I didn't tap a number on this. She's a nonprofit. I didn't say, well, if you don't make 6 figures, then that would be a different book. So that's what I was really interested in. And let me say this, is very important. I think when people have a mission or a purpose and they know it, but they're afraid to do it, think about it this way. It is not about you anymore. Mm-hmm. It's about you putting out there your gift for others. Once you shift that mindset and think, okay, I have these skills, I want to put this out there so I can help other women like me to succeed. Like, make it out about them, and then it might be a difference.
What is your American dream? And do you feel like you have actually met it?
I think you'd be a bit disappointed with my answer.
No, I won't, just go. But like, I want to hear what you would say.
So when I first came here, my eyes were shiny and I was really hoping to reach this American dream. But as I got older and I went through so much stuff, I started not to believe in it anymore. So for me, the American dream, it was installed for the Americans who lived here in the 50s. And the American dream was get a house, a car, and a good paying job. For immigrants, it's a whole lot of different thing for us. We have to deal with the whole different things between, immigrations and getting your papers in order and be able to work legally. And you have to go through all these hoops before you even get your basic American rights. So for me, the reason why I do love America, it's because it gives us, if you're smart enough and if you work for it, it gives us the opportunities. They are there. You have to work for them, but they are there. And I think that's what I'm really grateful for. But other than that, there's a lot of things that I dislike about this country. And I only know that because I've traveled enough to compare and to realize, oh my God, the healthcare system. And what about the food system, the food industry in the US? And then when I start to think this way, I'm not sure what my views are on the American dreams. The only thing I can say is I love this country for its diversity, but also for the opportunities it's offer us if you're willing to put in the work and have patience.
That's a part of it. So where can people find your book?
Oh, sure. So first go on Amazon. And then the second place is on the website. And as far as me, you can find me on Instagram at Saloua Ibaline. I have a YouTube channel called Saloua Ibaline TV. And you can also find me on my website at salouaibaline.com. And people, tell them to message me if they bought the book or even if they want to say hello. I'd love to learn about who's listening and what they learned from this. Please be in touch with me.
Saloua, thank you again so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right, that was a good job there.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, it was super. She's super
Excellent.
dope, and I told her as well. Like, I wish that my mom or my grandmother, people, from back in the day, women from back in the day who were so smart, but, always dimmed their light because of the culture. I wish they saw, or read books like this that she's creating.
Sure, absolutely. She's an amazing role model.
Yeah.
All right. 9 immigration questions, 50 seconds. Let's do it. What is that?
Giving myself ready.
You getting jiggy with it?
No. I get jiggy with it after we win.
After we win, you get jiggy.
Yeah.
You will not summon your inner Will Smith right now.
Not yet. This is just, my inner Muhammad Ali stretching.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Can an IR2 minor apply for a U.S. passport after arrival in America?
If they are living with a biological U.S. citizen.
Where can I get forms to apply for an H-1B visa?
USCIS.gov.
Can a child adopted by a U.S. citizen petition for their biological parent?
No.
Can I apply for my wife to get a visitor's visa while waiting for her documents in the embassy?
No, but a K3 you can.
Can I expedite my fiancé visa for security reasons?
Maybe what the reason is.
Can I renew my F1 visa from U.S.?
You can extend your status, but not your visa.
Can I apply for a U visa without a police report?
No.
Can I open a bank account in the U.S. if I don't live there just for vacations and shopping?
Yes.
I'm on a J1 visa and married my American girlfriend. Will I be getting my green card?
Probably, if it's a real marriage.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
Easy like pie.
Now I can get jiggy with it.
Easy like slicing some butter.
Slicing some butter.
Yeah, that was very good.
That was great.
We started off a little slow. I want you to know, this is the first time all week there's no debate. We did it.
Yeah,
Every
exactly.
time this week, it was like right at the edge.
Yeah, but we got it. We got it this time.
I'm going to tell you something. Carol Anderson, the Tiger,
Yeah, I just read that.
balloons. Even Rob J. Roberts is
Yeah.
watching, has nothing negative to say about that one.
Yes, and Carol Anderson, the Tiger, and Elizabeth Francis, I know you guys are saying add her information, talking about Saloua's on Instagram. So I know, like, we said all this stuff, and even Carol Anderson, the Tiger, said it was a great interview with her, and she was fun. So
okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
That was really
and
nice.
We won. We did it.
It was a good show all around.
It was a great show.
Not a good show, a great show.
A great show.
Great show.
Now what we're gonna do?
Comments of the day. Well, you went on. I was gonna say I want to take more calls. So let's do more.
All right. right, everybody, comments of the day. First comment of the day is from Taurine Boas saying, I got my green card with Brad Bernstein. Thank you. Shout out to Brad. Shout out to, is this Ayana Martinez?
Ilana Martinez.
Ilana Martinez. Shout out to Wanho Kim.
Yes, Wanho, our new associate.
Okay, and Mark and the brilliant crew. I'm so happy. No more stress.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is that?
That's from Taurine Boas.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations.
Torian. Yes.
Congratulations.
Okay, and our second comment of the day comes from CE User saying, where can you buy a magic 8-ball?
There's only one magic 8-ball.
In the whole world.
You can get replicas on Amazon.
Right.
But they don't work.
This is a real one.
This is the only real one. All the ones on Amazon, they don't work. It's just their toys.
Yeah.
This one,
it's the real deal,
that's the real deal. You can't get it anywhere else.
All right, and our next comment of the day. We've been waiting. Jeremy.
Oh,
J. Rhymes.
J. Rhymes.
Poetry Thursday. This is talking about you singing.
Okay.
Sir, I'm imagining you singing just right. And dang, you sound like Brian McKnight.
Okay.
Wow, Brian McKnight. That's a big compliment.
That's a big compliment.
Brian
Thank you
McKnight
very
is a great singer.
Right. Pull that one out of...
Just right out,
right, you know? Yeah, this is J. Rhymes.
That's thinking
out of the box.
Yeah, there you go. All right, y'all, and our last comment of the day comes from Nathan Quadad saying, I'm mailing out my N400 application tomorrow. Thanks for your advice, and please wish me luck.
We wish you best of luck. If you follow my advice, you won't need the luck. Just follow my advice, you'll be fine. Yes. But I wish you best of luck anyway.
Yeah.
All right, folks. As sad as this is for everybody else, I will be on vacation for the next 2 weeks. We will be back for Valentine's Day, February 14th. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably find out where I'm going to be. Ooh. It's not going to be in the United States of America.
It usually isn't.
It is not. But you can follow me and see where I'm going to be. You can always drop me a DM and keep in touch with me as well. And we will see you on Monday, February 14th. God willing. I'm sure God will be willing.
Yes,
We'll see you then. Have a great 2 weeks, guys. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.